This is Tracy with Watch Kansas, and today on Talking to Tracy, we're back with Edd Hingula. Hopefully you guys remember him from a few months ago. So how is the election cycle going for you, Ed?
Well, you know, we don't have any polls except for the one that counts, and that's coming up on the 2nd of November. And we hope that everybody will be out there voting.
Now, we were talking just a few minutes ago. I think we need to put this first and foremost. When does early election start?
Early voting starts on the 13th of October, and that'll be at the county courthouse on the corner of 4th and Walnut. It'll be right there on the first floor when you go inside. Now, I will tell you, you'll have to go through a screening to get in, but once you're in there, there's nothing to it. They're happy to have you come in and vote, as long as you're registered. Now, the last day of registration will be the 12th. So if you still have to register, you need to get up there quick.
If you have any questions about how to register or what to do, make sure you just call your local election office, and they're more than happy to help. Their entire job and their entire life's goals revolve around the election cycle and making sure every possible voter is registered to vote. Every possible legal voter. Now, Ed's running, as you can see from his shirt, from the Leavenworth City Commission. Now, why did you decide to run, Ed?
Well, I decided to run because I thought we needed to have a representative group there on the city commission, and that's one of the things that I've always thought elected officials were supposed to do: actually represent the people, whether it's in a district or, in this case, the city, or in the state. We need to represent the people.
I agree 100%. If I vote for someone and they're elected in, I expect them to represent me. If I don't vote for someone and they're voted in, I still expect them to represent me.
Absolutely. To that end, I give out information to people as I'm going around and trying to introduce myself to folks in the city. And one of the things I do is I give them a card with information about me that includes my cell phone number, as well as my Facebook page and my email address, so that people can then contact me when they see an issue come up, and they can tell me what they think on that issue, and hopefully I can advocate for them. I can never promise that.
Right, because there's always a lot of different angles to it, and just because someone has an issue, we all have, goodness knows, multiple issues we want, and we think it needs to be addressed by the commissions and the councils. But the fact that someone's willing to listen to what you have to say and maybe even negotiate options, that's important.
It is important. People need to know that somebody on that city commission is actually there to represent them and is willing to listen to what they say.
I agree 100%. Even if someone doesn't always agree with everything you want or need, I want to be listened to. I want to feel listened to. And I don't normally use the feel word, because I'm not a feels person, but that is an exception. I want to know and feel like you are invested, not just looking for a stepping stone or a job. Now, you don't need a job.
I don't need a job. I'm retired.
Aren't you retired more than once?
Retired at least twice. I retired from the Army quite a while back, and then the opportunity came to come up here and to live in Leavenworth. And we had been here before. I was here for the big course, the majors course. Mm-hmm. And when the opportunity came to come back up here, I looked at my wife and I said, well, we know people here, and we like the area. It's close enough to the big city, if that's what you want.
Sure.
But Leavenworth is a great little community. We felt like it's safe, and we can move up there, and this is where we made our home from now on.
Sure. Tonight they were having an After 5 event, and we were walking around some of the shops and having a good time with that before we sat down once the sun went down and to talk, because Leavenworth's got some great places, and we were able to look in some shops and
absolutely, you know,
sniff some good food.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know, I obviously don't mind some good food.
I hear you. And Leavenworth's got great restaurants. We eat up here a lot. My significant other and I, if we're not for sure where to go for dinner, one of us will say, well, let's just drive up to Leavenworth and we'll find something when we get there.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
we do. If we can't, if nothing else, we end up, if we drove all the way through and nothing sounds good, we end up at the Metropolitan Steakhouse. But normally we find a Mexican restaurant or an Italian restaurant or bar food before we get there. So, but it's just all great restaurants.
Oh yeah, the Leavenworth is full of great opportunities
Oh, yeah.
for you to enjoy life.
Now, some of the things we've talked about just in passing because we see each other off and on. There's a lot going on in Leavenworth, and there's a lot of things that need to be changed, and a lot of things that need to continue on in the same process and improved upon. What is your platform? What are you running on?
Well, as I said earlier, my first thing is I want to represent people.
Yes.
That's very, very important to me, and I think should be very, very important to all the voters. Second thing is, I'm kind of tight with a buck. I am at home in my own home, and how we will spend money. And I think the city needs to do the same thing. The city needs to pay for things that we need, and then put off the things that we want.
Agreed.
But we need to separate the needs from the wants, and then actually focus in on what do we need in this city to make people happy. The wants are great, and some people can have fun, with these things that people want. But we need to take care of the city and the citizens in it first, with all the needs. Additionally, I'm very, very strong on individual liberties and freedoms.
I'm with you.
I don't want the government at any level, whether it's be city or federal, telling me how I have to live my life.
That's one of the reasons we come to Leavenworth so often.
Sure, it's great here. You have the opportunity to do what you want to do, whether it's to go eat somewhere, or to go to a movie, or even to go to one of the plays being put on by the River City Community Players down the old historic Hollywood Theater.
Yeah.
We're able to do those things because we don't have mandates like that. Now, people do take precautions, and
Sure.
there's nothing wrong with that. People around here in Leavenworth, some of them wear masks all the time, especially indoors. Some will wear masks. No problem. Anybody who feels safer doing something like that, I'm all for it.
I agree 100%.
I just cannot stand the idea of being told that I have to do that.
And I know that I've had a lot of events and been to a lot of events, and I'll get a phone call before the event. I got a tickle, Tracy. I like my friends. I'm gonna stay home, and we're gonna see if it's anything. And people are more likely to do that now than they were before, and they're more likely to be more cautious. Everybody has a different way of taking care of their medical needs and eliminating other people's risk also.
Absolutely. And we have to be given the opportunity to do it ourselves,
Yes.
for ourselves and for our families.
I agree 100%. And I know you spent somewhere over 20 years defending our freedoms.
Oh yeah, I spent quite a bit over 20 years. I started in '72. I had a break in service, and I finally retired in 1988. And defending our freedoms means just that. Looking at what we're supposed to do, taking an oath, saying, I will defend the Constitution of the United States, because we are a free people.
Exactly. And that Constitution, well, that's extremely close to my heart.
Oh, mine too.
I know. Now, we've covered the voting, early voting, election
Yep.
day. We've covered basically the reasons you're running and the platforms you're running on, and how you intend to carry on the office and how you intend to maintain your position in office.
Sure.
What would you like to say to Kansas and to Leavenworth in conclusion?
Most important, the absolute most important thing that you can do is go out and vote. It's your right as a citizen of the United States to go out and vote. And it may not be an exciting presidential election. It may not even be, it's not a senator's election or even a congressman's election. But even the local votes count. This is where the rubber meets the road. When the city commission here decides on an ordinance, it affects you immediately. So it's very, very important for you to go out and exercise your right to vote. 13 October, you can do it right over there at the county courthouse, or you can wait until the 2nd of November, and that's when you can go to your polling place and vote. Now, don't forget that advanced voting, that stops on at 12 noon on the 1st of November. So get in there early if you wait until the 1st of November. Otherwise, just go to your polling place the next day. The important thing, though, is that you go ahead and get out and vote.
In conclusion, is there anything you'd like to say to Kansas and Leavenworth as we wrap up?
Absolutely, especially to the citizens of Leavenworth. This city is a vital city, and it's going to stay that way if you will get out and exercise your rights as a citizen. Go up to the county courthouse beginning the 13th of October and vote. It's your right, it's your privilege, it's your responsibility to get out there and vote and exercise those rights.
Now, one thing I can tell you without exception is I have never had a problem getting a hold of Ed. Whether I've sent him a message on Facebook, whether I've sent him an email, or whether I picked up the phone and called or texted him, he responds almost immediately. Now, if he responds almost immediately when he's not in office, I feel very comfortable that after you elect this man, you're going to have no problems getting a hold of him when you want to talk about Leavenworth.
Absolutely.
Well, this is Edd Hingula and Tracy Ramey with Watch Kansas. Have a great day.